Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to tell you why you should be watching this specific YouTube video if you're just starting to learn how to film yourself for your own YouTube videos. Don't go away now. Now I have a wee question for you to ask yourself. What is creativity? The author James Clear has written a lot of articles about creativity. And he's even penned his answer to the question as being the act of making new connections between old ideas or recognising relationships between concepts. Creative thinking is not about generating something new from a blank slate, but rather about talking what is already present and combining those bits and pieces in a way that has not been done previously. Now what I'm doing at the minute, I'm taking my 43 years of violin performing experience and I'm mixing it up with all the new filming skills that I've been learning. So essentially I'm combining all these pieces and trying to mark my own stamp on my own YouTube videos. You see, for the past 5 years, every video that I've uploaded to YouTube was taking me the guts of 5 or 6 weeks to make. Let's go back to October 2015, when I'd made a violin cover of the music from the Darby O'Gill film. It was another 3 or 4 months before I was ready to upload my next cover. And that was in January 2016. That was the Forrest Gump theme music. Then you had the Bohemian Rhapsody violin cover that I made. And that video took 3 or 4 months to put together as well. And the list goes on and on. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to break down the step-by-step process that I followed when I was making all these violin covers. The first step, as soon as I decided what cover I was going to do, I'd buy a copy of the music from musicnotes.com. It'd usually be the piano and the main melody sheet music that I get, maybe even the chords as well. The second step, I'd type each note from the sheet music into the notation software which I use, which happens to be PreSonus Notion. I'd decide what other instruments I wanted to give parts to, and then that notation would be transcribed into the software. Step 4. Once all the dynamics and articulation marks have been put into Notion, each instrument part in the notation software would be imported as a XML file into the digital audio workstation that I use, which is PreSonus Studio One Artist. Step 5. Every one of those XML files that I brought into Studio One, they were mixed. Step 6 was to video and audio record me performing the violin and piano parts of the music. 7. I needed to import the audio files of my violin and piano parts into the digital audio workstation. Step 8. This is where I had to mix and master every track in Studio One Artist, the digital audio workstation. And that was followed by rendering down a final mix down of the complete audio file. Step 9, the final step. The video and audio were uploaded to YouTube. And that is the step-by-step breakdown of how I've made all my violin covers to date. So you can see that the only thing that I was interested in was the music. I never gave a second thought to the filming of the videos. I mean, my filming standards were so basic. I simply clamped the iPhone to the top of the music stand and pressed record. And that was it, just the film completed in one take. Then I experienced my eureka moment in September last year when I found this Peter McKinnon tutorial, how to film yourself. The video lasted 6 minutes, roughly, and it enlightened me about the following 3 points. Point 1, gear and equipment. Point 2, shooting footage from different angles, rather than merely clamping the iPhone to one position, which I'd said that I already did. Point 3, pacing. So let's go back over those and go into a tiny bit of detail about them. The gear was the Manfrotto photo variable friction arm. Now this piece of mechanics has a really strong clamp, and the middle part of the friction arm can be loosened, which in turn allows you complete flexibility of the arm. So you can fix and attach the equipment at any angle, at any position to shoot your filming. Now when I saw this piece of equipment on the tutorial, I decided there and then never again was I going to clamp the iPhone to the top of the music stand and start filming. Never again. And quite literally, buying this piece of equipment, it has been a game changer. I don't need to worry about how I'm going to actually set the iPhone to take the video. Let's go back to the second point, camera placement. The advice that jumped out to me from the tutorial about camera placement was finding the most obscure, unique angle to tell your story from, that people don't usually get to see things from. Fresh perspectives, finding those weird, uncommon places to mount and clamp your camera. Don't just think dead straight. Don't just think from the side. Don't just think overhead. Get creative. Take your footage like if you're shooting through the spindles of a staircase, or if you're filming through the handle of a coffee cup. Make it unique, make it interesting, to make it captivating. How had I never even thought of these nuggets of advice? They literally never entered my thoughts. When I finished watching the tutorial, I rewatched it again and noted down all the advice. The third and final pointer from the video was pacing. Now, I've already said, my days of clamping the iPhone to the top of the music stand are well and truly behind me. Because I've learned that's a dead giveaway. It's boring. There's not enough happening. I've learned to incorporate continual movement and switching of the camera angles, so that when I've finished all the filming and I'm at the editing stage, I'll be able to have the movement changing every few seconds, so that the final video is interesting, is captivating, and people hopefully will want to keep watching it. I'm going to go back to a point I made at the start of the video about what I'm doing at the minute. I'm taking my 43 years violin experience and I'm merging it with these new filming skills that I'm learning. I'm combining all these bits and pieces together to mark my own stamp on my videos. And according to Creative Live, one of the most important pieces of equipment that you can have is a powerful sense of curiosity. And I have been consistently churning the curiosity cauldron, trying to capture footage of the violin from quirky and unusual and interesting perspectives. Let me turn it over to you. What's your take on creativity? What creative venture are you undertaking at the minute? How are you getting on with it? Where did you look to for your guidance and your ideas and your inspiration? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear. And if you've enjoyed this video, give me a big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. That would be a massive, massive help. If you like this video, then you'll love this custom made playlist that I have. It has all my recent videos about how I'm trying to improve my content. I'll keep you posted on my progress in the next video. So remember to subscribe and hit the notification button so you don't miss it. Thanks a million for watching, and I'll see you later.